town sky, Lake Erie wind, old scars stitched in a second skin. We were raised on cold and fight, every heartbeat red and white. Echo in the boards, crowd breathing fire, names on the glass like a funeral pyre. This is our house, this is our sound, from the Cleveland concrete of gold. Let's go crunch, screaming till your chest caves in. Cleveland loud, we rise again. Red and white in the blood we punch, from the first face off to the final crunch. Turn the volume past the pain, Ohio hearts in the heavy rain. Every head, every rush, Cleveland lives in the let's go crunch. Let's go crunch. We've got stories.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Let's Go Crunch podcast. I'm Ethan Greenberg, and alongside of me is Drew Hagenbaugh. We are part of the Land Media Group behind the scenes, thanks to Mike Wilkes. And folks, if you enjoy that intro and that song, the words, the lyrics, the man, the myth, the legend, Mike Wilkes behind the scenes coming up with that, and all of the great graphics that he puts together, just fantastic. So again, thank you everybody for joining us here. It's another edition of the Let's Go Crunch podcast, and we will have a guest here momentarily. We will have Jacob Roberto of the Cleveland Crunch. Drew, how are you this evening? Are you staying good with all the crazy weather?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying the best we can out here, getting a lot of snow, it's still freezing cold out, but you know what? We're doing the best. We have internet, we have heat, so that's all I can ask for.
No, it really is. It really is. I know I'm further south in the Richmond, Virginia area, and we didn't get near the amount of snow, and even the forecast, it was going to be a lot worse. It didn't turn out that bad, but now we are going to be facing some freezing rain, half an inch to an inch or something like that. And that's where they're worried about power outages. Hopefully it won't. But of course, the funny thing is that with as little snow as you actually see on the ground, my kids don't have school tomorrow. So,
It must be nice.
They need to toughen up. They need to toughen up a little bit. But yeah, so tonight, thank you folks for tuning in here. Oh, wait a second. Mike from the UK, you're jealous of having snow. Yeah, you can enjoy the rain and fog over.
Yeah, we're supposed to. I think we're supposed to get like 11 inches tonight by the end of the end of the night, like 10, 11 inches or something.
All right, get out with the shovel, Drew. Get it out with the shovel there.
I live in an apartment, so I don't have to worry about that.
Score. That is beautiful. So tonight, folks, we have a real treat. We will be welcoming in a member of the Cleveland Crunch, the one, the only, Jacob Roberto, forward for your Cleveland Crunch. And welcome to the show. Jacob, how are you, sir?
Hey, how's it going? I'm good. Good. How are you guys?
Doing the best we can with all this weather.
This weather, yeah.
We are definitely, snow is the best weather. Yeah, until you have to actually be out in it, that's when it's not exactly great. But Jacob, you're from Northeast Ohio. You went to Berea Mid-Park High School, right?
I did. Yeah, I graduated 2019.
Okay, don't make me feel old here, bud. Don't make me feel old here. Then you went on. You spent some time at Notre Dame College.
Yep. First 2 years, and then 2021 transferred over to Marietta, where I finished out.
Okay. So what was the difference there, kind of in the competition you were dealing with at Notre Dame and at Marietta, and then any thoughts about Notre Dame College? It closed its doors. I don't know how strong of a connection you had there, but you spent 2 years there. So just any thoughts on that? Yeah,
no, absolutely. It's definitely a bummer they closed. They closed in 23, so 2 years after I left. But yeah, the competition was great there. I mean, compared to Marietta, Notre Dame College was D2, Marietta was D3, but different. It was good competition in their own different ways. Marietta was part of the OAC, or still is part of the OAC, so great competition there at the D3 level. In terms of Division II and Notre Dame College, we were in the Mountain East Conference. We had a really good battle for the top of the table with University of Charleston, and they were always a great side to play. Always nationally ranked in the top 5 it was there were definitely some big levels that I realized there were once I entered from high school. I was like, wow, some of the foreign guys that came in definitely gave me a wake up call for sure.
It's always good to have some competition to really get your, get your play another level up. And we were going to kind of touch on that here shortly, talking about last night's matchup. But we'll put a pin in that and hold on that for just a moment. But this is your third. If I've read all the information correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. This is your third season with the Crunch,
Yep.
correct? All right, that is fantastic. What's your soccer story? Tell me about your soccer story. How did you become, kind of fall in love with the game and get into playing it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, growing up, played all different types of sports. Played American football. I wrestled, played baseball. Uh, I wanted to get into hockey, but my mom wouldn't let me. She didn't want me. She didn't want my teeth getting knocked out. That was her main concern. But yeah, in between playing all those sports, growing up, soccer was always that one sport I just continued to play alongside those other ones, and that was the one that just kind of stuck with me as I grew older. Um, I mean, I have some family that played soccer as well, so kind of following in their footsteps and keeping the trend. I didn't really grow that much when I was playing American football, so as we got older, guys got bigger and I didn't, but soccer was always a great sport for me to lean back on and continue to grow in. I mean, coming up with the Crunch in my third season, came from actually the open tryout.
Wow.
I went 3 years ago. I knew some guys on the team already, like didn't know them on a personal level, I wouldn't say, but acquaintances from playing against them at OAC, such as Aiden Bozak, Omar Najar. Playing against those guys growing up and playing against them in college, I knew those guys. Um, but yeah, I came from the open tryout, and I felt like that was going to be my best way in, and here we are 3 years later.
Wow, that's amazing that you're 3 years later. That's fantastic. Now, Drew, I believe if I correct me, did you play soccer at the college level, Drew?
Yeah, I did. I played for the NAIA. I played at Indiana Tech in the NAIA, so not quite D3 or D2, but still some pretty good competition over in the NAIA level. And I know you said you played for Marietta, so that means you played at what, Mount Union too? I guess Mount Union. With
Yeah,
I
we
guess
played Mount
Omar.
Union.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
my, my,
yeah.
my my younger brother was on that Mount Union team with Omar. and all
Oh,
that.
nice,
Yeah,
nice.
and he was also at that open tryout too, I believe, a couple of years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It
cool.
it, it is a
It's a full
small.
circle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that would you agree, Jacob and Drew? You build the community
Yeah.
that when you're involved in athletics and certain areas, and you get to certain levels, it just kind of all comes together. It meshes, um, where you get to know this person and that person, the other person, and it's like the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, right?
Yeah. No, absolutely. There's a strong connection in the soccer world up in Northeast Ohio, Columbus
Mhm.
up, at least Northern Ohio. It's a great soccer area to grow up playing in. As you get older, you meet someone, and you're like, hey, I remember playing against you growing up, and someone knows another person that you know, and everyone knows someone somehow up here. So it's great.
Yeah. Now, do you have any who's like your favorite indoor player, outdoor player, one or both, that you kind of watched play grow while you were growing up and coming into the game that you maybe try to emulate, or you say, wow, this person is just the best.
Yeah, I wouldn't say growing up I was big on indoor soccer. If there wasn't really a whole lot of presence growing up in the indoor
Right.
soccer world. Once
Yeah.
I was born in 2000, and I think up to that point, the Crunch was kind of on their way out and disbanding. So growing up, there really wasn't a whole lot of the indoor game, but I mean, obviously I look up to all the major stars. I mean, Messi, uh, all those. I mean, just the big names, and growing up watching those guys, and it was a great soccer era to watch and grow up in. But yeah, I can't say I have watched a lot of indoor soccer growing up, but once I came into the team, I was able to learn a whole lot from those older guys like Admir and Mikey. Those guys have been great in kind of mimicking their tendencies, and learning more about the game has helped me kind of really develop.
Right. So you didn't, really know the crunch too much. Has anybody, your family, your parents, did they fill you in and talk to you about, oh, wow, you're playing for the crunch. This was what it was like um, in their former iteration?
Yeah, no, absolutely. My parents, my mom specifically has mentioned to me when I got into talks about kind of joining the team and going to the tryout a few years back, that she used to go to like the Cleveland Force games
Yep.
and the Crunch games and at the Coliseum, and used to be packed, and they were always super fun. And like a few years back when we were having these conversations, she was like, "Oh, it would be so cool to get like a bigger venue." And now we're at the Wolstein Center, so again, another full circle moment there. It's been pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And Drew, step in if you have a
Yeah,
question.
no. Going back to the Wolstein Center, for especially for you, how does it feel to see the crowds at the Wolstein Center for the first two home games? Because I know they've been pretty decent, especially last night, even with the weather starting to get really bad. Like seeing that big of a crowd, how does that feel for you and the rest of the team?
Yeah, no, it feels great, honestly. I mean, the energy from the crowd really gets us excited to put out a good show and come out on top every game that we have at home. The previous venue at Soccer Sportsplex, it used to be it would get packed in there, and tickets would sell out almost every single home game. And it's exciting to be at the Wolstein because it gives, you know, thousands more an opportunity to come out to a game, and we've been able to see that number increase with the crowds, and it's been great.
Yeah, it is definitely a different world going from a place like the soccer sportsplex back over to the Wolstein Center and so on and so forth. So far in your young career and kind of going back through high school or college, can you tell us what maybe your biggest highlight was of your playing career thus far?
Oh man, uh, I'd say it's a good question.
I like when I have
I
good questions.
Yeah. Oh man, I'd say in high school probably. Uh, oh man, I'll jump back to high school, but college specifically. I remember it was during the COVID season at Notre Dame College, and we had a really good match against Charleston. I think we ended up pulling a point out of there and drawing that match, but it was snow was coming down, and it was just a really great game, and I was happy to help the team there. At Marietta, I think one of the key highlights probably would be during my junior year when we were really pushing for the playoffs in the OAC tournament. We had a really good tight match against Mount Union at Marietta, and we had a great crowd. And unfortunately was not able to get a goal, but I played very well that game. I hit the crossbar from a long distance
Oh,
shot. Um, but yeah, and then I guess with Crunch, I'd say my rookie season, winning the championship, that was an experience like no other. That was amazing. I remember particularly playing a game at home or at Soccer Sportsplex at the time against a team called Red Cedar FC.
Mhm.
And towards the end of the game, they had a sixth attacker on. So they didn't have their goalie out. They put on an extra player because they were down and they were trying to score faster and catch up. And because their goalie was out, I intercepted the ball, and a little over halfway, I just knocked it all the way into the goal. It was just a nice little lofted shot. I think that's probably one of my favorite probably my favorite goal I've scored so far with the Crunch. And our great photographers got a pretty awesome photo of me celebrating after that.
Nice. That is nice. Now, have you developed a signature celebration?
I really haven't, to be honest. I know some guys have their signature celly. I mean, I know Bozek likes to do the little bow and arrow kind of celebration, but I guess for me, it's just kind of like an in the moment kind of thing. Whatever the momentum or
It's impromptu. It's
it is.
natural.
It is. Yeah, for me it kind of just comes natural. Sometimes it's if I take a shot or wherever I'm leaning towards after I take a shot, I'm kind of like my momentum's kind of like going one way. I'll just kind of run off in that same direction if I score and just kind of maybe throw my arms out or hit like a little like a fist or something. I don't know, like a let's go.
I like it. No, that's good. I'd rather it not be all the choreographed is very nice, but
Yeah,
the au natural.
right.
I want to see it come in that moment there. So before we kind of just go into last night's game, um, what is what have you seen thus far this season through the first 5 games? The good, you take the good, you take the bad, you take them all, and then you have the soccer life. But what are you thinking as you've seen this team through 5 games?
Yeah. There is a lot of different competition this year than we've seen. I mean, I guess I don't want to jump too far ahead into the this game last night specifically, but through 5 games, one of the things I mean, it's just even in the last all the time I've been with the Crunch, one of the things that we have, I feel like that is a big differentiator between us and other teams in the league is just the high standards we have, and also the accountability that those older guys hold for the rest of the team. I feel like it's really important for our standards to stay high, and even when we're still winning by let's just say 10 goals, uh, we're still on each other after like a bad pass. We're still on each other after someone misses a tackle or commits a foul and we get a blue card for something silly. I feel like that's one of the big things this year that we have. Uh, Even though we've had it since all the time I've been here with the Crunch, this season we always love to keep each other accountable and just keep building momentum as the season goes on.
Right, right. And so that does bring me to a good question. Drew, I didn't want to cut you off
No,
there.
go for it.
Well, so you talked about being accountable
Mhm.
and being on each other. How much does it help to have a coach who can also suit up and play and they're not just out there as a body, but Antonio Manfoot last night another 2 goals and an assist. He's out there playing with you guys. He's older than many of the players. How much does that mean to you as a player to see a guy like him not just talk about it, but be about it?
Yeah, no, I mean, exactly to your point. He could, Tonio, when he's coaching, it is one thing, and then to do the same things that he's coaching onto the field is pretty cool to see. Obviously, no, I don't believe any other coach could do exactly what how he does it in this league. He's still performing when he's out there, and uh, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's really I I can't admit it's the only time I've played a full competitive game with my head coach. So the times he's played, I mean, I remember a couple years ago, my rookie season, he played as well against a doubleheader in Omaha, and that would have been the first time a head coach I've played with like a head coach. So I thought that was pretty cool. But I mean, yeah, to your point, it's cool. I mean, it's pretty awesome. There's really, I don't know, for me, it's kind of really not much to it. It's he really drills into us all the tactics and things like that. So it's pretty cool to be able to play with him and not have to kind of rely on him on the sideline just because all of our techniques and our strategies are just ingrained in us already. So yeah.
Yeah, that is amazing. So, Drew, you
Yeah.
had a question. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to take a little bit of a dip into last night's game. I know you guys beat Lansing or Red Cedar in the first game 17-6, kind of a big blowout win. how different was it last night when, it's a lot closer, it's 10-8, was there anything different that you guys saw? Was there anything different that they did that you didn't see the first time around that made this game a little bit more difficult for you guys?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, for starters, they signed some new players over the
Mhm.
last few games, so seeing some new faces was definitely we were expecting new players. We
Yeah.
saw coming in that they won a few games and built some momentum leading up to playing us, but definitely wasn't expecting the game to go how it went. Of
Yeah.
course, the goal was for us obviously to handle business, but I was very surprised to see the pace that they were playing at. I felt like they definitely kind of kept up with us for a decent amount of the match. We'd score a goal, and then right like minute later, like literally
Yeah.
5 seconds later, they're coming right back at us and tying it up or taking the lead. And that was really one of the main differences was their pace of play and urgency to score. I feel like the first game we played them, the beginning of the season, they seemed like a squad that wasn't very sure on how they wanted to play. But this was definitely a different team from before. They seemed like they had a game plan and they executed that game plan pretty well
Yeah.
to an extent, besides not being able to pull off the result. But happy to take home the 3 points.
Of course.
Yeah, sometimes it's not going to be easy. It's not going to all be smooth sailing. You're going to have some bumps in the road. It appeared, and tell me if I'm wrong, as I was watching on the broadcast, they were packing it in, being compact and sound on defense and making life miserable. You couldn't get any clean shots off it. Would that be an accurate depiction?
No, yeah, 100%. They were really packing it in by in their half in by their goal. Yeah, no, honestly, to that was pretty much how it was. It was hard to get some shots off. They just really, yeah, they really packed it in.
Right, and there and Tukalevsky, he was standing on his head making saves.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
how frustrating is that when you're putting these great shots on and this guy's just all over the place?
Yeah, no, I think one of the more frustrating parts of the game yesterday for me was during the power plays. We would be taking like shot after shot after shot for like 2 minutes straight, however long that specific power play would have been or was, and it's just save after save. It's every 5 seconds there's a shot and a save, and I was getting a little frustrated. Like, geez, like let's just put one in the back of the net already.
Yeah, it had to feel good once you guys finally took some control in the fourth, after battling back and forth all night long there. Um, but yeah, it seemed like they had a strategy, definitely offensively, in their attack. I mean, Drew, you were there.
Yeah.
You were in the crowd or you were on the sidelines.
Mhm.
I know you had some observations and share your question there with Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, coming down to it, with you being compact, and them coming off the front foot of those attacks, how many like the different changes that you guys make. How fast you guys have to adjust to not only just their counters off of not just power plays, but to just, again, when you score a goal, and you guys have a quick defensive breakdown, like not even a minute later after you just scored a goal. We couldn't even get an announcement out before you guys even
Yeah.
scored. Like, how quickly do you guys have to adapt and, change your game plan to be like, okay, listen, we scored a goal. At least let's just hold them for a couple minutes without them scoring before they, start. What changes do you guys make to do that or to just stop them from getting that momentum?
Yeah, I think overall it just really is about staying switched on in the
Mhm.
indoor game specifically. It's constantly moving, super fast pace. I'd say compared to outdoor, right
Yeah.
after we score a goal and they're kicking off to restart the game, you could maybe switch off for like
Yeah.
a few seconds, maybe a minute or two. It's but an indoor, I mean, just as an example, last night, I mean, Omar scored a nice little header. We set up defensively, and
Yeah.
they kick off and score like instantly. And I think it's really more about just staying switched on in the indoor game.
Yeah.
Antonio always is yelling on the sidelines or on the field to bump our runners. If someone were to pass through and make a run, we got to get in their way. Can't let them through easy. I think in that aspect, we don't necessarily have to change the strategy there. We just have to make sure we're staying on point and staying switched on, because the game could switch just like that, as
Yeah.
we saw last night. It was really back and forth.
Right. And it was the most goals that you've given up in any game thus far this season. It seemed like they had a bit of a strategy. And again, Drew, your observations there when they were scoring that quickly. Again, share. We talked about it earlier. I'll let you share the thought.
Yeah, I mean, them scoring, especially too, they had some. Not gonna lie, they had some beautiful goals too. They had a couple of good long rangers that were just perfection. But again, the frustrations of that when you back off, you score a goal and you slow down just even for a moment. You know, again, just for I know for you and especially for me, being two outdoor guys who hardly play indoor, it's a lot different. It's a lot more faster paced. When it comes down to it, how do you guys stay so switched on? How do you guys, continue to fast pace? How do you guys just, especially too, they had some good rough tackles on you. They were, especially with your head coach. I mean, they were hitting Manfoot pretty hard a couple of times. How do you guys, besides taking a physical beating, just stay switched on to make sure, like, listen, this is a very, very close physical game. Chicago was even though the scoreline didn't say it was close, it was a very hard fought physical game. Pittsburgh was very physical. Do you guys come off of it like, okay, listen, we have to be just as physical, more physical? Just get, do you guys stay the course, or do you guys try to change as much as possible? What do you guys do, like, when it comes down to those hardships?
Yeah, I think it goes back just to the foundation of the way we play. Antonio always mentions, or I mean, it's just a common saying with the squad here, that our practices should be harder than the games.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, we should always, once we go into the game, we don't want to change a whole lot. We have a certain way of playing, and it's a winning strategy. And we've proven time and time again that the way we play is can pull results and 3 points more times than not. And so we try to stick to our strategies. And I guess coming into the games, it's really just about kind of seeing the past results and who we're coming up against. And our older guys on the squad, like DJ or Bobby, they're really kind of ingraining into us, like,
Yeah.
you guys got to come in ready to battle. It's
Right.
really just coming in with a mindset that we have to be just as physical, and like, we're the most physical team, we're the best team. We have to come in every game knowing and believing that we're the better team and that we're going to come out on top.
Yeah, and I know DJ had a red card against Pittsburgh,
Mhm.
and he was supposed to be suspended for a match. How did it feel to actually get that card, taken away for just to be a yell and have him for yesterday's game?
Yeah, it was great to have him for yesterday's game. I mean, he was able to bag a couple. I think he scored maybe one or two. He had some nice crucial goals. I think one was
Mhm.
right off of a free kick at the top of the
Yeah.
box. No, it was great to have him yesterday, and it was great news that they reversed it from from a
Yeah.
red to a yellow. I mean, being there, I mean, just playing in the game last week against Pittsburgh, and just watching that whole thing go down. Obviously, because they reversed it, it was definitely not a red card. I
Yeah.
mean, it got a little scrappy. They
Mhm.
got in each other's faces. Maybe foreheads touched. Maybe they didn't. That's that's here nor there. But happy to have him yesterday for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Quick question here. Thank you, everybody who is tuning in, and whether you're watching it live or you're watching this on a replay. First of all, Kevin Arnold, the voice of the Crunch, chiming in. Love having him here talking. And no test yesterday will make the team stronger in the crucial part of the season. And then we have an interesting question here. What's it like playing with guys you might play against in the summer? Playing with them as opposed to playing against them.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a cool. It's interesting. I think it's great for soccer just in the Cleveland area and in northern and northeast Ohio. I'll give you an example from over this, not really over the summer, but September, October, like October, November ish, like during the fall. Um, I was playing with Croatia Cleveland for the U.S. Open Cup qualifying matches, and we ended up playing Akron City, and so I played against a few of my Crunch teammates who were playing with Akron City, and it was I was playing against like Omar, Brendan Swan, couple others that I play with on the Crunch as well, and it's interesting. It's cool to it's great to not just play with them, but also play against them. It's a great competition and keeps us ready on our toes, I guess.
It's good it's good fodder. You can give
It
a little
is.
grief.
It is.
Give each other a little bit of grief there. So let's see here. Coming up next, just taking a look ahead at your next matchup, you will be back home again. It'll be on February 1st, back at the Wolstein Center. You will be taking on Fort Wayne in the first match against Fort Wayne. It was a rather large margin of victory, 18-2. But having seen what we saw last night, are you? I know Fort Wayne is struggling. They're not exactly having a great go of it so far. But do you anticipate a different or more difficult match against them? Sort of like you had last night with Red Cedar.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, we're coming into every game just as pumped and just as ready. I think that's definitely something that we're going to put into consideration
Mhm.
coming into this week. Just comparing it to what happened yesterday. Um, for all we know, they could have signed a few new players, and it's a totally different squad than what we're going to see, or it's going to be the same squad, and they're going to have something kind of more set in stone in terms of the way they play or their strategy. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, we're definitely taking those things into account, and we're going to stay ready for those changes.
Right. And this is just something I was thinking about earlier. And I think people that are watching and listening might be interested in this. You guys, this is, the players on this team, this is not a full time job. This is something you do in addition to full time work. How challenging is it to find the energy to be able to work a regular full-time job and come do this, and you are putting your heart and soul into this? Just if you could speak to that, because I don't know how many people really think about that, and I think they'd appreciate to know what you guys do.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, we all work during the day, and then days we have training, we pop over there and train. And uh, one of the great things about playing with this team and just the league in general is just the training and the match days are very flexible to accommodate kind of like working schedules. So all of our trainings are in the evenings and games are all on the weekends. But um yeah, it's definitely for me coming out of college just a couple years ago, I feel like it's no different than being almost sort of like a student athlete. You got your homework, you got to go to class, and then you could go play some footy and then have fun. I kind of like to keep it, or I kind of like to view it with that same mindset. Going to work, I'm focused on my work that I do every day, my day job, but it's something I look forward to every training day or every leading up to a match day. It's some days, yeah, it could be a little tiring, but I think that just speaks to the dedication that the whole team has. Not even just having regular full time jobs during the day, but even some guys that are older than me who have kids and young kids.
Mhm.
I can't imagine some days for them staying up late, and if baby's crying in the middle of the night, gotta go help them out, or tend to them, and then coming out and training. I think it just speaks to just the overall what's the word I'm looking for? Just dedication to playing. It's a lot sometimes, and other times it's great, but it really just shows the love for the game from all of us. So
Absolutely. I hope that people listening and watching really take note of that and appreciate that. And like you said, when you've got some of the older players or whomever, younger, older, but if you've got a family, that changes dynamics as well. Question from Mike over across the pond here. Do you change your game routine when it's an earlier game? Do you have something that you would like, okay, this is going to be a 7 p.m. kickoff. Here's what we do. How much of your routine changes when you're going to be playing in the afternoon?
yeah, I think for me personally, my routine isn't gonna necessarily change. It's just gonna go back like a time block. Like, okay, I'm gonna eat this time. I'm gonna do some stretching this time and do all these different things that I do. It's just gonna go back 5 hours instead of it's all the things I'm gonna do is just gonna go back 5 hours to accommodate for the game time. So gonna have to wake up a little extra early, but that's part of the game.
I got you. Now you talked about you played many sports, although your mom didn't let you or didn't want you to play hockey. I know when I traveled with the hockey team, they were very heavy on the carb loading for game days. Do you carb load on game days, or do you have a special meal you like to eat?
Yeah, no, I definitely carb loading. I mean, Jersey Mike's is a great go-to for me. Uh,
Nice.
Number
Nice.
13, just the original Italian on the rosemary parm. Need the rosemary parm bread. It's the only bread I could get there. It's the best. It's either a nice sub like that, or just some pasta, something nice, clean, easy, gets the job done. Nothing that's gonna make me overly stuffed or feel slow for the game.
Yeah, you don't want to have indigestion. We had a whole conversation about Pepto Bismol
Oh man.
earlier before the show and such. Well, you've got the game coming up against Fort Wayne. Currently, the Crunch sitting at 5-0 is only by a matter of the number of games played. You sit behind Toronto. Toronto in first place. We know you had battles with them last year. What do you think? I know you're not probably focused on the Toronto matchup yet. That's in a couple of weeks, but you're focused on Fort Wayne. But um, is that circled on your calendar? The matchups with Toronto.
Yeah, no, it is for sure. I mean, playing them last year, those games were bloodbaths. I mean, we all both squads really left everything out on the field each time we played each other. So, yeah, although I'm not entirely putting my focus on Toronto just yet, they're definitely in the back of our minds. I mean, even prior to yesterday's game against Red Cedar, they recently played Toronto, and so seeing kind of how they compared to Toronto, they had like a pretty decent match against them, and they were able to score some pretty good goals and hold on for a good amount of time. So kind of comparing those two squads coming into the game yesterday, Toronto's always on the back of my mind and our minds just because they're uh, top of the table with us and just compared to last year. So to answer your question, yeah, it's definitely circled on my calendar. And I'm excited to put my full focus on them during that match week.
But not this week. Not this week.
Not yet. Not
Not
yet.
not
Yeah.
not yet. And again, folks, the Crunch will be back home. It will be not a Saturday matchup. It's going to be a Sunday matchup. Sunday, February the 1st, the Crunch will be back at home to take on Fort Wayne, what they also call Summit City Sentinels, I believe is what they also go by. So folks, be sure to go ahead and get your tickets and pack the Wolstein Center. Hopefully the weather will hold up. If you are not able to be there, tune in. So many great media outlets and the great voice of the Crunch, Kevin Arnold, along with his broadcast partners, Munch Bishop. And I sincerely apologize. Gianluca. Gianluca is down on the field. He was up, with Kevin yesterday, Manning doing the color commentary. Fantastic. So you guys are in good hands. You're in very good hands, and should feel very fortunate to have the great broadcasters that you do have. Drew, I want to, just give you an opportunity if you have any other questions here for Jacob.
Yeah, and this is just a fun question that I like to ask. Who do you have a favorite club you support, whether it be like MLS, Premier League? Like, do you have a favorite diehard club that you like?
Yeah, I'd say it's kind of different because Prem, I'm not like the biggest. I love watching the Prem, but I
Yeah.
can't say I have like a certain team. For me, I'm Italian. I have
Okay.
a teammate from NDC who is from Italy, and he was like a diehard AC Milan fan. And living with him and in college, watching those games, made me kind of over time support AC Milan. So I'd say
Okay.
AC Milan is like my Serie A squad for sure.
Love that.
Prem,
Alright.
I can't say I could put a finger on a certain team I like the
Hey, that's-
most.
That's
It's
fine.
Hey,
I
no,
don't want to
that's
say City because I don't want to say City because they're I don't know. It's just not my squad. I don't know. It's
no,
hard to
that,
say honestly. And then the
It-
crew, of course, for
Oh,
the
yeah, of
MLS.
course.
Support the crew.
Yeah.
right. And you got to be excited about soccer, the growth of soccer in Cleveland, as they are working on the women's professional team, the WPSL Pro, as well as the MLS Next. I mean, I'm assuming that when that gets rolling, you might could be looking to play for them, for the MLS Next, whenever that might come.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't know the exact timing that squad is going to be coming out or when they're going to start kind of putting a team together, but it's definitely a great opportunity for high level players like myself. So it's definitely going to be probably something I'll be thinking about in the future for sure.
I'm sure.
That is fantastic. Well, Jacob, thank you so much for being here with us. We appreciate your time on this evening, and good luck the rest of the way. You are always welcome back here. This was an absolute pleasure, sir.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
All right. So, Drew, unless you have anything else,
I'm good.
all right. So, for Jacob Roberto, for Drew Hagenbaugh, and for our man behind the scene, Mike Wilkes, I'm Ethan Greenberg, and you've been tuned in to the Let's Go Crunch podcast, part of the Land Media Group.